Okay, so imagine this, right? You're looking out at this perfectly still lake. The surface is all shimmery, and then you toss in a little stone and boom, all these ripples start spreading out, right? They touch every part of the lake.
Yeah, it's a great visual.
It really is, and it's kind of the perfect way to get what we're diving into today. Karma, straight from Buddhist philosophy.
And it's not just about some kind of cosmic scorecard, tallying up the good and the bad you've done.
Right, it's much deeper than that.
It's really about this fundamental law, cause and effect. It's always in motion. In Sanskrit, it's just action,
Every choice you make, every thought you hold on to, every single word you say is like tossing that stone into the lake.
It sends those ripples out,
Yeah.
and they shape not just where you are now, but where you're headed.
It's all about the seeds you plant.
Yeah.
And with time and intention, those seeds are going to grow.
Absolutely.
So today, we're really going to explore how that whole process works, and more importantly, how you, listening right now, can use this understanding of karma to make real positive changes in your life.
Right. And that means being aware of what kind of seeds you're planting every single day. Because, we'll get into this, but even the tiniest things you do can have massive consequences.
Okay, so let's jump into this idea of a wheel of karma. Think of it as a journey through time and all the choices you make. To get this point across about planting seeds and seeing what happens, the Buddhist tradition has this really cool story about a guy named Siddhartha. Not the Buddha, but just a regular person. He's going through a lot in his life, facing a ton of struggles, hardships.
Yeah, and what really grabs you about his story is this moment he has with a monk. Siddhartha sees this monk in deep meditation, and he's like radiating peace, completely unfazed by all the stuff Siddhartha is dealing with.
Total serenity.
Right. And so Siddhartha, he just asked this question. It's a question we all ask. How do I get that kind of peace?
Oh, I love that.
Me too. It's so human, right?
It is. So how does the monk answer?
The monk keeps it super simple. He says, plant good seeds.
Wow, okay. Simple but profound.
Exactly. And of course, Siddhartha's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I would ask the same thing.
Right. So the monk lays it out. Kindness, generosity, wisdom. It's about the actions. The idea here is that when you do good things tend to happen. You put positivity out there, it comes back to you.
Beautiful illustration of cause and effect. Very personal.
Totally. And you see it happen in Siddhartha's life. He starts sharing what he's got, even though he doesn't have much. He starts practicing forgiveness. He tries to be wiser.
And things actually start changing for him.
Exactly. People start trusting him more. Doors open up that were closed before. He goes from feeling scarcity to feeling abundance.
That ancient wisdom about kindness having real consequences is so fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah.
Our source actually connects this to modern science. It mentions Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory. What's that all about, and how does it fit with karma?
So what Fredrickson found is that positive emotions, like the kind you feel when you're being kind or when you're around positive vibes, they actually make your mind and your social skills sharper. So it's not just about being nice to someone else. It's like you're doing something good for yourself, too. It improves your mood, strengthens your relationships, and it can even help you think in new ways. And this totally lines up with the idea of planting good karmic seeds. It's like those seeds actually blossom into advantages in the real world. On the other hand, when you do things that are negative, it's like you're building walls around yourself. You're closing yourself off from possibilities.
Like that blank canvas idea our source mentions. You wake up each morning, fresh start, and what you think, say, and do, those are your brushstrokes. And they create the picture of your future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you painting with those bright, positive colors? Or are you letting your habits decide what the picture's going to look like?
Yeah, it's a choice.
It is. And here's the thing about karma that's so important. It's universal. It applies to everyone, no matter who you are, where you come from.
Everyone's on this wheel.
Exactly. Think of it like a garden. Your actions are the seeds, your intentions are the soil.
So if you're planting anger, resentment, or just not putting in effort, you're going to reap a lot of stress and missed chances.
Exactly. But if you plant compassion, discipline, gratitude, you're going to have this rich and fulfilling harvest.
Like the Buddha said, what you are is what you have been. What you'll be is what you do now. Every single moment has this power to shape your future. It's pretty amazing.
It really is.
So I want to ask you, dear listener, are you really aware of what you're planting today? Like choosing to go for a walk instead of scrolling on your phone, saying something kind to someone, or even just learning something new.
Yeah, because these small choices, they're directing your life.
It's not about some fate you can't control. It's about taking responsibility for what you choose to do right now.
That's karma.
You're the gardener of your life and your future.
I like that.
Okay, one last time with Lake. You're holding two stones now. One is a positive action, the other is negative. Which one are you gonna throw? What kind of ripples do you want to send out into your life, into the world?
So we've seen the basics of karma, how your choices echo through time. Now let's get practical. How do those seeds actually grow into the future you'll experience?
Right. Let's move into part 2. The seeds of today, how every action shapes tomorrow.
It's not just some philosophical idea, it's a force that's affecting every single moment.
And at the center of all this is the Buddhist law of cause and effect, hetu-phala.
Yeah.
Think of it like the mechanics of karma. Every cause, hetu, has to have an effect, hetu. Just like dropping a stone makes ripples, every action sends waves through your reality. But these ripples, sometimes you don't see them right away.
Right, sometimes the consequences are obvious, but often they're hidden, moving under the surface, and they show up much later.
And that's where we see the long-term impact of our choices, the way they build up over time. Our source has this really great example about 2 people starting their careers. One spends their free time learning new skills, networking. The other, they're all about relaxing, watching TV.
Right, and at first it seems like they're on similar paths. But after a few years, it's a different story.
Totally. The person who kept watering those seeds of hard work and growth, they usually end up with bigger rewards, promotions, confidence, more options.
Yeah, and the other person, they might feel stuck, frustrated like it's all bad luck, but they might not see the connection to the choices they made earlier.
And it's not just about what you do, right? It's about the why. Our source says not all seeds are the same. The impact depends on your intention, the effort you put in, and the situation.
Absolutely. Helping someone because you genuinely care is different from doing it because you feel obligated. Like doing something kind without anyone knowing often has a bigger impact than doing it for praise.
It's not the what, it's the why. And to show this, our source tells this amazing story about a guy named Ravi. He really changed his life by understanding karma. He was struggling early on, felt trapped by his circumstances, didn't have many opportunities.
Yeah, I love Ravi's story. It's so inspiring to see how small, consistent actions can lead to such big change. Makes you think about our own little habits and what they could mean down the road.
Definitely. So what changed for him?
He met this meditation teacher who said something that clicked for him. The teacher said, yeah, your past actions have led you here, but your future, that's in your hands. It's shaped by what you do now.
Wow.
That flipped his perspective. He went from feeling like a victim to feeling empowered.
He took action.
He did. He started volunteering, being grateful every day, committed to learning. It wasn't overnight, but gradually those seeds he planted started to grow.
Oh, what happened?
Good things. He met people who became partners, found amazing mentors, and eventually he started the successful business. It wasn't luck, it was the result of those positive karmic seeds he planted.
Our source makes this point. Ravi's story shows that you don't need some special talent or privilege to change your life.
Yep.
It's about being willing to act and doing it consistently. Small steps lead to big results. Like the Buddha said, drop by drop is a water pot filled.
So true.
So let's talk about how you can actually use this in your life. Our source gives some practical steps to tap into this power of karma. Not huge resolutions, but small, mindful changes in what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, that's key.
So first, you got to cultivate mindful intentions. Examine the why behind what you do. Are you acting from your ego or from a place of compassion, wanting good things for yourself and others?
That's crucial. When you understand your motives, you can make sure those seeds you're planting line up with your values, with the future you really want.
Next, practice daily acts of kindness. You don't have to do anything big. Hold a door for someone. Give a genuine compliment.
Exactly. It brightens someone else's day, but it also makes you feel more connected, more purposeful. It actually reinforces those good vibes in your brain, making kindness more natural.
It's like training your brain for kindness.
Yeah, I like that.
Then invest in yourself. Do things that improve your mind, body, and soul.
Think of it like tending to the soil in your own karmic garden.
And those investments, they build up over time. It's like creating a strong foundation for your future happiness and success.
Exactly. Things like exercise, meditation, learning something new, anything that nourishes you.
Another key step is to let go of negative patterns. Our source calls them weeds.
Oh, I like that analogy.
They choke out the good stuff. So recognizing and replacing those bad habits with good ones is really important.
It takes honesty with yourself. What are the thoughts and behaviors that hold you back? Choosing better alternatives. It's an act of self-care. and it can really shift your karmic path in a good direction.
Then there's visualizing your future self. Even just a few minutes a day, imagining the person you want to become can be incredibly motivating.
It's powerful. When you create that image of your ideal future, it's like you're drawing yourself toward it. You start acting in ways that align with that vision.
You're becoming that person.
Exactly.
And lastly, embrace accountability. Tell someone you trust about your goals. They can be your support system, especially when things get tough.
It makes a huge difference. Having someone to share the journey with, to cheer you on, it helps you stay consistent and overcome obstacles.
It's like creating this positive environment around you that helps those seeds you're planting to grow.
Yes, exactly.
And remember, all these steps, even though they seem small, they add up. It's not about instant change. It's about consistent effort toward the life you want.
And your actions, they don't just affect you, they ripple out and touch the lives of those around you, often in ways you don't even realize.
Think about Malala Yousafzai. Her father believed so strongly in education, and that sparked a global movement for girls' rights. That's one person's actions having a huge impact.
Amazing example.
But it can be smaller too. You compliment a coworker, their confidence goes up, they achieve something they didn't think they could, and it inspires others.
All connected, isn't it?
Which brings us to this Buddhist teaching of interconnectedness. Your well-being is tied to the well-being of everyone and everything around you.
That's pratityasamutpada, interdependent arising.
Right.
Nothing exists in isolation. Every action, every being is connected. Your choices have consequences that reach far beyond yourself.
So as we finish up this part, really focus on the present moment. What kind of seeds are you planting right now? Division or unity? Fear or hope? Scarcity or abundance?
Your awareness in this moment, that's the key to becoming the gardener of your own karma.
That awareness leads us to our final part, the hidden dimensions of karma unveiling the power within. We're going deeper now, looking at the subtle ways karma works, beyond just the obvious actions and consequences.
What's really interesting here is what some people call the butterfly effect of karma. It's like chaos theory. It says that small actions, things we hardly notice, can start a chain reaction that leads to huge results, outcomes we could never predicted.
Our source tells a story about a woman named Priya. She decides to walk home a different way and ends up helping this older professor who dropped his groceries.
Right.
And that little act of kindness led to a major positive shift in her career.
It shows how those seemingly insignificant moments can be the most transformative. We should be present, open to opportunities, even when they come from unexpected places.
And it seems like intention is so important. The source says that the why behind what you do often determines its true impact.
Absolutely. A genuine gesture, even a small one, carries a different energy, a different karmic weight than something big done without real care. As the Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. Our inner state is the foundation of our karmic influence.
This brings us to something that might seem a bit confusing: letting go, or non-attachment, and how it relates to karma. Can you explain that?
It's subtle, but it's crucial for understanding karma. Non-attachment doesn't mean you don't care about the results or you don't try your best. It means releasing the need to control every detail or get fixated on a specific outcome. You plant the seeds, you care for them, but then you trust the process of growth.
It's like that analogy with watering a plant. You don't keep digging it up to see if the roots are growing.
Exactly. And it's like meditation. The point isn't to force your mind into a certain state, it's to gently observe, notice your breath, your thoughts. Let insights come naturally. With karma, non-attachment means focusing on aligning your actions with your values, not obsessing over external success.
Our source talks about how thoughts are the hidden root system of karma. It says the mind is like the architect of our reality.
Which is huge. Our thought patterns directly shape how we feel and what we do, and ultimately they shape our experiences. Negative thoughts hold us back, but positive thoughts create fertile ground for good things to happen.
And that's where mindfulness practices come in. Journaling, affirmations, visualization, all these tools help us develop better mental habits.
They give us a way to shape our inner world, to weed out the negative thoughts and cultivate positive, life-affirming beliefs. It's mindful gardening of the mind.
I love that. And going back to the lake, the source compares a negative thought to a heavy stone and a positive thought to a gentle flower petal.
Beautiful imagery.
It really shows how our inner world affects everything.
It does.
And there's this exercise the source suggests. Every morning, write down 3 empowering thoughts or intentions for the day. Then think about the good that could come from focusing on those ideas. It's a simple way to start your day with a positive mindset.
Powerful stuff.
Now, the conversation expands to look at karma beyond just us as individuals. It talks about its collective dimension, this Buddhist concept of interdependence, pratyasamapada.
It's a core idea.
It means our well-being is deeply connected to the well-being of others and the world. Our actions, big and small, create ripples that go far beyond ourselves.
Exactly. That's why things like service, advocating for good causes, even protecting the environment, they're so important. They all contribute to the overall karma of the world.
Think about people like Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Wangari Maathai. Their actions started movements that changed the world for the better. And it's not just about these huge figures. Even small acts of kindness done with good intentions add to the collective well-being.
Absolutely. It's like we're all weaving this giant tapestry together.
One thing that really resonated with me was how the source reframed karma. It's not about punishment and reward, it's more like a helpful friend, a feedback system.
That's a much more empowering way to look at it.
Challenges become opportunities to learn and grow, not punishments. And good things are seen as the natural result of past positive actions. It's about being grateful for all of it.
It is.
And to wrap things up, our source offers this karma blueprint. It summarizes the key principles we've been talking about.
Okay, let's go over them.
First, be intentional. Focus on the energy behind your actions. Second, embrace non-attachment. Try your best, but trust the process. Third, cultivate positive thoughts because they have the power to shape your reality. Fourth, serve others because we're all connected and try to make a positive difference in the world. And fifth, stay present. Be aware of the seeds you're planting in every moment.
Great summary.
This source says that when you live by these principles, you're aligning yourself with the flow of karma and using its power for good in your life and the world.
So true. As we end our deep dive, remember that you have this incredible power to shape your future through the choices you make right now. Intention, mindful action, and interconnectedness. Those are the key takeaways.
And here's something to think about. What's one seed you're going to plant today? How will it affect you and those around you?
We hope you'll take some time to reflect on these ideas. Maybe explore Buddhist philosophy more deeply, try practicing mindfulness. It's a journey of discovery, and the potential is immense.